World of Warplanes soars into open beta. Layoffs hit the Transformers Universe MMO. Ubisoft's player account servers were hacked. Age of Wushu prepares for its first expansion. Jagex reveals RuneScape 3's launch date, and more on this week's episode of Free to Play Weekly. Ubisoft has emailed its users to alert them of a hack the company uncovered, which compromised their account database. According to Ubisoft, the company recently found one of their websites had been exploited to gain unauthorized access to some of their online systems. The compromised database held usernames, email addresses, and encrypted passwords, but luckily did not contain any personal payment information. The accounts affected were part of Ubisoft's Uplay service, which serves as a game account portal for many of Ubisoft's games, including free-to-play titles such as Ghost Recon Online, Anno Online, and The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. Ubisoft has not mentioned who obtained the information or whether they plan on offering any sort of in-game compensation. For everyone who has a Uplay account, Ubisoft urges them to follow the email's included link in order to change their passwords. The open-world MMO FPS Planetside 2 is apparently going smaller for once. In a surprising move, SOE announced a new Planetside 2 mode called Nexus Battle Island, which takes the gameplay of Planetside 2 but condenses it into a smaller population-restricted area. While Planetside 2 is known to have hundreds of players battling between all three factions at once, the new mode will be restricted to just 2 opposing outfits. Because of the heavier focus on close-quarter strategic combat, SOE has promised multiple win scenarios beyond the capture mechanics found in the normal open-world maps. The news of the new mode seems to coincide with SOE's recent partnership with MLG in order to promote Planetside 2 as a competitive esport. It's still unclear whether this will be a welcomed addition to the FPS or if it'll potentially alienate the game's current player base. The new mode could also serve as a way for players with lower-end PCs to experience Planetside 2 with the same weapons and vehicles, but with less graphically intense firefights. What do you think of the new mode? RuneScape's latest incarnation has announced a launch date scheduled for July 22nd. Dubbed RuneScape's most significant update, RuneScape 3 marks the game's transition to HTML5, which notably removes the game's Java requirement and provides a relatively significant boost to the MMO's graphical capabilities. However, players have never been known to gravitate towards RuneScape for its graphics, and Jagex knows this. The launch of RuneScape 3 will see the beginnings of player decisions directly shaping the world and its inhabitants. Since the update is not a true sequel, existing players will be happy to know their accounts will remain unaffected. Jagex plans on commemorating the launch by unveiling a special inaugural community-focused world event. Having only recently launched Age of Wushu in April, Snail Games is wasting no time preparing the MMO for its first official expansion, Legends of Mount Hua. In fact, the MMO was originally supposed to receive the expansion this month, but ran into some minor issues which caused Snail Games to push the release back to August 8th. The expansion adds several new features, such as cross-server tournaments where top players from each server fight against each other for coveted rewards, and the Jingu factions, which lets players spread their fame with NPC factions, granting them special items, quests, dungeons, and more. Other additions include the new Yanmen Pass instance, which takes players all over China through 5 different storylines, a new objective-based 80-player battle arena, and the Marshall Brothers system that rewards both older and newer players who work together. Snail Games has several blog posts detailing the new systems, so if you're interested in learning more about the expansion, be sure to head on over to ageofwushu.com. World of Warplanes, Wargaming's second foray in the World War II style combat simulators, has finally entered its first stage of open beta. During its lengthy closed beta period, the intense flight sim boasted an impressive 2.7 million players and over 60 types of aircraft across 4 nations. Changes made from closed beta to Warplanes open beta have been minimal and include aircraft rebalancing, a new player tutorial, and the addition of a real-time tactical feedback system aimed to help players learn the best possible combination of combat tactics, crews, and ammunition for their particular warplane. During the first phase of the open beta, all players will be given premium account status in order to help their early progression. Once phase 2 of the open beta begins later on, all running premium playing time will be wiped out and Wargaming will implement their unified premium account system, allowing players to share currency between their World of Warplanes and World of Tanks accounts. Jagex has laid off 13 people working on the upcoming free-to-play Transformers Universe MMO. According to Eurogamer, Jagex confirmed the layoffs and cites a change in tech as the cause for the team size reduction. The downsize came after it's been decided that Transformers Universe should be built using pre-existing technology rather than creating their own in-house. While the layoffs have called into question the game's final quality, a recent statement from Jagex to Eurogamer stated the staff reduction would not adversely impact the game, and that the vast majority of the Transformers studio will be unaffected. It should be noted that the actual number of employees moved off the Transformers project was greater than 13. All but 13 of these individuals were able to transition to support the upcoming release of RuneScape 3. The Transformers Universe MMO was originally announced late last year and is still currently slated for a 2013 release. And the game of the week is Gameglobe. Gameglobe is a 3D browser-based action-adventure platformer published by Square Enix. In Gameglobe, players are given the tools to craft their very own uniquely designed levels filled with diverse areas to explore, dangerous mobs to overcome, and traps to evade. The creator can then choose to share their creation with other players who can vote on their favorites. Similar to PlayStation 3's Little Big Planet, Gameglobe gives players the freedom to create everything from side-scrolling platformers set in the Amazonian jungles to 3D adventures which have players fighting off bands of pirates and progressing through uniquely crafted stories. Players can customize everything from the level's theme to the landscape, buildings, bushes, and even time of day. As players play levels made by others, they'll gain rewards which can be spent on new items used in their own level creations or to customize their character's appearance. If you're looking for an MMO that focuses on community-created content and letting the player craft their own gameplay experiences, then be sure to check out Gameglobe. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below, and be sure to head on over to mmobomb.com for more free-to-play action. I'm the Dank, and I'll see you next time.